Falcons fans, what if I told you the biggest move Atlanta makes before week one isn't on defense? What if it's bringing one of the most dangerous wide receivers in NFL history to Atlanta to be reunited and it feels so. Oh, my bad. The trade rumors are heating up. The Falcons have been named as a potential landing spot, man. And if this actually happens, it could completely change the ceiling of this offense. But there's one massive catch. Tyreek Hill would have to agree to something that superstars almost never want to do. Let's talk about it, man. What's going on, Falcons fans? Welcome back to Falcons Digest. You already know I'm Charles Jones, and if you're new to this channel, man, this is your new home for the latest Atlanta Falcons news, rumors, which what this is, trade speculations, you can name this that as well, and everything happening around the Dirty Birds. If you love Falcons content every single day, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. Tap that bell, stay tapped in with the ATL so you never miss another Falcons update, man. Before we get into this video, you already know this video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app and the best way to get in on the action. We'll dive into some of their awesome promotions later, but make sure to download the app using the link in the description and pin comments. Use promo code DIGEST to sign up today. New users get $50 instantly in their lineups when playing your first $5, and it helps out this channel more than you know, people. Now, the title of today's video says it all. Falcons trade rumors are escalating, and it could be a big trade incoming. Now, before anyone jumps into the comments saying, hey, Charles, the Falcons aren't trading for Tyreek Hill, let's clear something up. This is still speculation based on Atlanta being named as a logical landing spot if Hill becomes available. Nothing is official, but this is one of those rumors that's actually this is worth talking about because unlike a lot of offseason fantasy scenarios, this one makes football sense. Let's dive into it, man. One thing we know about the Falcons front office, they're not afraid to make aggressive moves at this point. They've spent money. They've drafted pretty aggressively. They've completely rebuilt this roster over the last couple of years, man. And heading into training camp, Atlanta still has something many contenders don't. Salary cap flexibility. That's important because if Ian Cunningham wants to make one final splash before the regular season starts, he absolutely has the resources to do that. Now, the biggest question becomes, where do you spend that money? Personally, there are really only two answers, man. Option number one, you improve the defensive line. Atlanta could always use another interior disruptor, most definitely. So somebody who can stop the run or collapse the pocket, generate pressure from the middle. We've all watched enough Falcons football over the years to know how valuable interior pressure can be. The problem? There just aren't many impact defensive tackles left on the market at this point, which naturally shifts the conversation to offense. I mean, and that's where things get really interesting because if Atlanta is looking to improve offensively, wide receiver immediately jumps off the page. Yes, Drake London has established himself as our wide receiver one. There's no debate when it comes to that. All right, he's becoming one of the better receivers in football. But after Drake, who scares the defense, man? Who consistently forces double teams? Who changes defensive game plans? That's where the conversation begins. And suddenly, Tyreek Hill's name enters the picture here. CBS Sports' Garrett Podell recently listed Atlanta as one of the potential landing spots for the 5-time first-team All-Pro receiver, man. And honestly, the reasoning isn't crazy. It's not off the wall. He pointed out that Hill could immediately become Atlanta's #2 receiver behind Drake London. He'd instantly move ahead of players like Jahan Dotson and Olamide Zaccheaus, my guy OZ, on the depth chart. So, I mean, that's significant because adding another legitimate weapon would completely change how defenses line up against us on Sundays. Think about it, man. You already have Drake London. All right. You have Bijan Robinson. Kyle Pitts is still looking to put together that breakout season we've all been waiting for. Now, imagine Tyreek Hill stretching the field every single snap suddenly. I mean, keep in mind also, Zach Branch is here. So that's our kind of on-field coach for Zach Branch. He's kind of like his protege almost. He's almost the same player. But defenses can't cheat, man. Safeties can't creep into the box. Corners can't simply bracket Drake London all game. Everything changes. Now, here's another reason why this rumor actually has some legs. All right? The quarterback connection. Tyreek Hill spent 4 seasons catching passes from Tua Tagovailoa. One thing people overlook, I mean, Tua is left-handed. Why does that matter? Because Garrett Podell pointed out something really interesting. Even if Michael Penix Jr. eventually becomes the full-time starter, Hill already has years of experience adjusting to throws coming from a left-handed quarterback. That's actually an underrated advantage. Receivers often talk about how different the football spins depending on whether it's thrown by a right-handed or left-handed quarterback. They usually say, oh, it doesn't matter, but they talk about it, so it matters. Tyreek has already mastered that adjustment. There wouldn't be much of a learning curve there when it comes to that. That's something worth considering, bro. Let's talk about the resume, though, because regardless of how anyone feels about Tyreek Hill, the production speaks for itself. Since entering the NFL in 2016, he played in 145 games. He's caught 819 passes, over 11,300 receiving yards, 83 receiving touchdowns, 8 Pro Bowls, 5 first-team All-Pro selections. Those numbers aren't just great. Those are Hall of Fame numbers, bro. There are very few players in NFL history who have been as explosive as Tyreek Hill for nearly a decade. He's been one of the biggest nightmares defensive coordinators have ever had to prepare for. Look, let's address the elephant in the room. Is Tyreek Hill still Tyreek Hill? That's the million-dollar question. He's not the same player he was 5 years ago. Father Time catches everybody eventually. And yes, he's coming off of an injury, but here's what people forget. When he was healthy, he was still producing in 2024 despite everything that happened. He still finished with nearly 1,000 receiving yards, 959 yards, 6 touchdowns, and that's considered a down year. One season before that, he absolutely exploded. Nearly 1,800 receiving yards, 13 touchdowns. He led the entire NFL. So we're not talking about someone who's washed, all right? He was injured, not washed. Let's not forget about Tyreek Hill's background here in Georgia. He's from Pearson, Georgia. Was given the key to the city less than 5 years ago. Pearson, Georgia. This guy is a Georgia native. I mean, he was not an Atlanta native because Pearson, Georgia is 220 miles, approximately 220 miles away from Atlanta, man. But this guy was born in Georgia. He is a Georgia guy. We're talking about someone who may no longer be at his absolute peak, but still has the ability to completely change games, bro. Now, here's where I pump the brakes a little bit, man. If I'm the Falcons, I'm interested. Very interested, but only at the right price. This cannot become another situation where you're paying money for declining production, bro. Tyreek Hill has to understand where he is in his career. He's coming off of an injury. He's getting older. If he truly wants to compete for another championship, he's going to have to take a veteran-friendly deal. Simple. Plain, man. I'm not giving him elite receiver money anymore for the rest of his football career. I'm not tying up future cap space, but if he comes at the right price. Now, we're having a completely different conversation because for a veteran contract, the upside is enormous. Even if he gives you, 800 to 1,000 yards, even if he only catches 7 or 8 touchdowns in this season, the impact goes beyond the stat sheet, bro. Think about what that does for Zach Branch. Think about what that does for Drake London. Think about what that does for Bijan Robinson coming out the backfield, having Tyreek Hill on this team, bro. Defenses, they have to account for it. They have to account for this guy every step, bro. That alone creates opportunities for Drake London, for Bijan, for Kyle. Come on, man. For the entire offense, man. Sometimes a player's presence changes everything. Tyreek Hill is still one of those players, man. You can't just take a crap on this man's name, man. You got to be a new booty to football if that's what you're doing, man. Let's talk about Michael Penix Jr., though. We got to bring him into this scenario because this could actually benefit him more than anyone else. Young quarterbacks love speed. Why? Because speed creates separation, and separation creates easier throws. Penix has one of the strongest arms in football. His deep ball was one of the reasons Atlanta believed he could become their franchise quarterback. Now imagine, pairing that cannon with arguably one of the greatest vertical threats we've ever seen. That combination could be very scary. If you thought Pat Mahomes to Hill was nasty, imagine Penix just putting that ball up there and letting Tyreek Hill go. Man, come on, man. Hill doesn't need 5 yards of separation. That we know. Sometimes he only needs one step. And Penix has the arm talent to hit him anywhere on the field, bro. That's exciting. All right. But Penix has to get healthy first. Penix hasn't been cleared. Tyreek Hill hasn't been cleared. Neither one of these guys have been cleared, but this is just rumors and me just basically trying to figure out some stuff, man. Of course, nothing happens unless Miami is willing to move him. All right? Nothing happens unless the money makes sense as well. Nothing happens unless Atlanta believes adding another veteran receiver is more valuable than strengthening the defense. All right? Those are all legitimate questions. But if we're simply talking about the football fit, bro, I actually understand why Atlanta keeps getting mentioned with this Tyreek Hill conversation, bro. Like I said, he is a Georgia guy. Pearson, Georgia. Has the key to Pearson, Georgia, bro. This isn't just one of those random rumors where people are throwing names against the wall. He has ties to Tua. He has ties to the state of Georgia. There are football reasons why this pairing makes sense as well. This quarterback familiarity, man. The need for another explosive receiver for the Falcons. Come on, man. The available cap space. The possibility of getting a future Hall of Famer at a discounted veteran price, man. That's why this rumor refuses to disappear. At the end of the day, if Tyreek Hill is expecting superstar money, I'm out. Don't give him no superstar money. He don't deserve that. He mess around and come out here and get injured again. He's really not the same Tyreek Hill like I said before. But if he wants to come to Atlanta on a veteran deal because he believes this team can compete, sign me up. All right? Put my name on the line right now because there may not be another available player before week 1 that raises Atlanta's ceiling more than the cheetah, Tyreek Hill, man. The key is simple. The price just has to be right. Simple as that. Before we wrap up the video, guys, this video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Use the link in the description and promo code DIGEST to get started on Prize Picks today. Flex Friday is back in full swing. Boost your end of the week by using your Flex Friday payout boost to get a 40% higher payout every Friday. Also, Taco Tuesday, man. The tacos are going nowhere. Our board is serving up discounted projections on Tuesday all day long, especially for the World Cup, man. So make sure you get your picks in for the World Cup. Once again, use the link in the description to download Prize Picks and use promo code DIGEST to get started on Prize Picks today. New users get $50 instantly in their lineups when playing your first $5. And it helps out this channel more than you know, people. Now, I got to hear from you guys, man. Every Falcons fan watching right now, bing those comments, man. Should the Falcons pursue Tyreek Hill if he agrees to take a veteran pay cut? Drop your answer, cuss words, and comments in the box using the choices that I give to you, but talk to me nice. Or, I mean, you can make up your own. I'm not picky. Make up your own choices or use the ones that I give you. Vote with A, B, C, or D down in the comments, and let's see where Falcons Nation stands on this one, man. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like the video, please. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel and you're not subscribed. You might as well, if you made it this far in the video, man. Make this your new home for Falcons news. And share this video with another dirty bird, man. Of course, I got to thank you guys for watching, man. You already know what it is, per usual. Peace up. You know the rest, man. This is Falcons Digest. Stay blessed, y'all.
Yeah, when they talking about BKG Tony,
We talking about winning. What it do, Chuck Tweezy?